All right, hi guys. So I'm not one for milestones really, especially in this kind of series. And again, if you saw whichever video it was from last week or whenever, I actually missed day 100 completely. I can't even remember what happened. I don't know if it was just one I forgot or if I was too tired or too busy or whatever. But yeah, that was quite funny, and I thought very fitting. But one thing I will do is mention this particular milestone today, which is day 108, which might not sound like anything particular, but it does have a bit of meaning for me because I was quite a weird child, and so this would have been, I mean, when I was a toddler, probably like 4, maybe. I think it was before I started school. I think, but I would have been very very young, and we had this toy that was like a laptop, but it was like a kid's toy basically, so it didn't fold or anything. It just looked like a little mini laptop, and it only had a handful of buttons on. I think it was only for maths, I think, so it only had the numbers on, and it would give you basic like maths equations or whatever to do, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, all of that, and it would go from the numbers like 2 up to 12, right? And so like for someone my age it was fairly advanced stuff, but I obviously got the hang of it at that point already. So yeah, evidently it wasn't beyond my level at that age. I don't, like I said, I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I know I was very young. And yeah, it was weird. It would give you all of these different like sums, and then when you type the answer in and all of that, it would tell you if you got it correct or not, and then it would just move on to the next one, right? Except I used it really weirdly because there I can't explain why, but for some reason, what I would do every single time was just keep pressing the like skip button or whatever, or the next button, whatever it was, until the sum 12 times 9 came up. And then I would type in 108, and then I would hit enter or whatever, and then I would just skip forward and skip forward and skip forward until it said 12 times 9 again. And then I would just type in 108. I cannot explain why. I have no idea what, and like they did it both ways. So like they did 9 times 12 as well, but I skipped that. Just wanted 12 times 9, 108. It genuinely like baffled in hindsight why, I don't know why I did this. Yeah, it was just that one particular sum or like multiplication thing that I would get like fixated on for whatever reason. And this was on more than one occasion as well. There were multiple occasions, by all accounts, of me doing this. I can't explain why. I don't really remember it. I remember the toy because we had it for ages. Because obviously I've got a younger brother, so we kept it for a while. So I remember that, and I remember how it works. But like most of the rest of it just comes from like people telling me that that's what I used to do, which makes it even more, because like I don't remember my thought process or anything like that, so I genuinely cannot explain it. And yet somehow no, no one diagnosed me with autism or anything like that. I don't know if I have it or not, but I think things like that make me very very suspicious that certainly something's been going on, and not just recently as well. It's been going on for quite a long time. There are more incidents like this. So I used to have 2 sets of like kids books here again. I probably would have been a very similar age. So I had Thomas the Tank Engine books, and there were about 80 of those, I think. And then I had the Mr. Men books. That I can't remember how many of those there were. Probably about 100. I'm not really sure, but they were really really like small books, short books, obviously. And I had a little bookcase, and I think a lot of them fit on one shelf. Like a lot of the Thomas the Tank Engine ones fit on one shelf, and a lot of the Mr. Men ones fit on like the shelf below or whatever. But I had like almost all of them. I had like loads and loads and loads of them, and I obviously read them quite a lot, or had them read to me quite a lot. And it got to a point where, again, I can't remember how old I was, but not very old, where if someone like said a number between 1 and 80 or whatever it was, however many books there were, I'd be able to tell you which book in each series. So I'd be able to tell you both the Thomas the Tank Engine books and the Mr. Men books that were that number in the series, because I just knew. Like I can't explain how I did that, but I mean, things like that are very much reflected in later life, where I suspect the fact that I've been cubing for so long, it might be related to that, and the fact that at the start of secondary school I learnt like 100 decimal places of pi, the periodic table and all of that, and all of these weird things. They started from a very young age, and they started with the number 108. So yeah, I don't really know what to think about that, but I thought it was quite a funny story. And obviously today being day 108 of these day 108 of me doing this project, not necessarily video 108, but I thought it would be a funny time to talk about it. So yeah, that's about it for today. See you tomorrow.